everyone, and welcome to Really Old Movies. I'm your host, Harrison Scullin, and today we're doing the next part of the Frank Capra at Columbia collection. This is the third of 4 parts, so this is the penultimate one. And with that, we got our very special guest, Nate, in the green room. And before we get to that, though, let's go on with the theme. All right. How's it going, bud?
I'm doing good. Ready to talk about these movies. I watched them all. You know me. I watched them all like the day of. So
I did too.
All 5 of them today. So they're fresh. They are fresh.
Heck yeah. And you've been on the show many times, but why don't you introduce yourself and talk about your channel?
Yes, my name is Nate. I am with Geeks and Flix here on YouTube. You can find me there with my partner Alex. We do live. We're going to be doing more live streams. Breaking news here. We're going to be doing.
Excited for that.
Yeah, we're going back to weekly live streams, which we used to do back in the day. Now we were all the way down to monthly. We're going back to weekly. So, and then of course we have a podcast. Harrison's been on a couple of times. The Action Movie Guys podcast. You could listen to us just break down action movies there. And yeah, that's pretty much where you could find me as far as content goes.
Heck yeah, and I got links to all that down below, guys, so make sure to follow them. And stay tuned for a future episode where we talked about Waterworld.
That was a fun one. That was a fun one. There was a lot of different kind of mixed reviews, which I like. That's the best way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got some comments here. Got Critic After Dark. What's up? I just picked this setup not too long ago, but I haven't got to it yet. Well, you got to do it, man. We're going to be talking about numbers 11 through 15 in that set. And next week, next month, we'll be talking about the remaining 5. So it's a pretty great set so far.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Jokers here. Hey, everybody, I made it. Now, the question is, are you sober?
He's definitely not.
That's a real question.
I doubt it.
Okay. We got your co-host, Alex. What's up?
Hey.
Al Capone night, baby.
I still think Frank Capra's Al Capone. I don't know. Frank Capone.
I mean, I guess they're both Italian. So
and their last name starts with a C. That's about it. Yeah.
I can confirm I am absolutely not sober.
Classic.
Oh, man.
Right there, let me tell you.
All right. Well, let's go ahead then and get into the reviews for tonight.
You know what? I want to preface this with, so far, I've loved doing these streams because I love watching movies like that I've never seen. And this has been a really fun experiment. I was looking at them and I don't know, I don't remember all your scores, but I remember a good amount of them. But like, this is interesting because the first block, like the first 5, no movies that I hated and one that I loved. The second set, 1 movie that I hated and none that I loved. And this is the first block that has 1 of each. I hated one of these and I loved one of these. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's been a quite a mixed experience for me. I don't know about you. We'll see. And our rankings are never the same. So I always love,
of course,
seeing what you put where versus me.
No, absolutely. And for me too, I hadn't seen any of these films, and I'd only heard of one of them, which is Platinum Blonde. I hadn't heard of any of these others. So
me neither. I never even heard of Platinum Blonde. I was like,
there you go.
5 out of nowhere movies for me. So it was fun.
Yep.
Mostly.
Right. But before we get started with our rankings, I'll talk a little bit about how this show goes. So we'll each be talking about our score for the film, a score 1 to 5, and from worst to best overall. within this group. And it's crazy because this is the penultimate. Next time we do this will be the last 5. And I don't know what you think, but I think in that one, not only should we do those 5, we should also talk about our favorite overall within this set.
I'm with you. I have keeping a running tally in my notes, so I have all my past scores and everything.
Yeah, me too. I got it right here.
And that next 5 is like a super banger set. Apparently, all 5 of those were nominated for Best Picture. So, and 4 out of the 5 he was nominated for Best Director. So we're talking about like the heavy hitters on that one.
Yeah, it's going out with a bang for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
So
but I'm with that. Yeah, that sounds like good. I would love to go back and talk about some of these again. Like we should do our overall favorite, and then also like the worst of the set, like what we.
Yes, I agree. The worst of the set.
Yeah,
and the best.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into our reviews. So we'll start out with you. What is your number 5?
Well, we're gonna start off with one of the contenders for worst of the set, in my opinion, at least. And my number 5, let me cover the other one, is going to be the bitter tea of General Yen. All right, listen. We had in the last set, we had a bunch of Barbara Stanwyck. I feel like it was a bunch. Maybe it was only 2.
I think it was like 2 or 3. Let's see.
She
was in 2.
2, okay. But it felt like more. But okay. And we had 2 in this group as well.
Yeah.
This is by far the worst one that she's in. I was excited because I saw her name and I was like, oh, the last set, I like those Barbara Stanwyck movies. I don't know, Harrison. I found this one so boring. It felt like it was 3 hours long and it was only like 90 or 87 minutes or something.
Yeah.
You got, it's the 30s, so it's a different, like there's like a guy from like Denmark playing a Chinese guy in this movie. So, you have some of the weird racial stuff. He doesn't even have a Chinese accent.
No.
At all. He sounds very European. And I did like, it was funny when like someone would speak to him in Chinese and then he would just say like one word that sounded like it could be Chinese. Like, right. And that was it. they keep going about like they knew what he said.
Yes, or he's like, no, speak English. Like,
right, yeah. Hey, I don't speak. Speak English. It's better. I don't know, dude. Like the only parts I kind of liked were like there's like some action in it. There's like some shooting, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I was confused most of the time with the story. I didn't know what was going on for a good. Okay, the movie's 87 minutes. At least 30 of it, I was like, I don't think, and I don't know if it's Capra's fault per se. It's probably the script, but I don't think they did a good job of kind of explaining the whole China thing at that time, because all you get is this preacher guy at the beginning, and he's talking about like they're like missionaries or whatever, and he does this little story about how he talked to some people. And then they ended up like crucifying some bandits or something. And he's like, that's China. And I'm like, I don't really get it. Like maybe more context. Then again, maybe if you were there at the time, it would have been easier to understand that.
Yeah.
But I didn't like this. I didn't get it. I didn't get the love affair thing. I didn't get it. I just like, I don't know why she's so, okay, the dude, they hit her rickshaw driver with the car. Okay. She goes over to him. She's like, hey man, you hit this guy. He's not apologetic. He's nothing. He's just like rude. She's like, you need a handkerchief? Because he got a little cut. He got his own. Like it was an awkward interaction. And from that, she's like, I remember when you said you had your own. And she has like a memories. I'm like, what the heck? It was weird. I really didn't like it. I gave it a 1 out of a 5.
Oh wow.
Wasn't into it at all. I don't know what it was. But this was right in the middle, I think, of the 5. And I was like, nah, dude, this is not for me. And it felt like it took an eternity to end. I don't know. But I'm sure you're not going to have it at 5, but I hated it.
Okay. Well, fair enough, sir. Okay. Well, I also need to cover one here. My number 5 is Lady for a Day.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. And here's why. I thought it was a really boring film. I mean, yeah, okay, the tension of the mom trying to show her daughter that she's wealthy and all that. Okay. But honestly, I didn't care for the actress for the old mom. I was like, why are we following her around? I don't care about her.
The Annie,
And
the Apple lady.
yeah, I was like, to me, I thought she was gonna be like a side character or like a gag character. I didn't realize she was gonna be basically the main character. I
Right.
mean, yeah, there's a romance with the younger kids and whatnot, but no, I was like, I don't get this movie. I don't know why Capra. I'm gonna say Capra made this movie.
Crap.
It didn't feel like a feature length film either. Like this could have been like a cartoon from Looney Tunes. Honestly, it didn't need to be a feature length film.
Mhm.
And I think her name is Jean Arthur, who plays her daughter. She's okay. I like her more in Little Women with Katharine Hepburn. I think she's much better as Beth, the sister that dies. Spoiler alert, but whatever.
Gene Parker.
Parker. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was Arthur or Parker, one of the two. Anyway, she was okay, but I wasn't really into that one. And so that's why it's my number 5. And my score for it is a 2.8. So pretty much a 3 out of 5. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
There's I don't know if there's definitely worse ones in this set so far.
Yes.
I think it is one of my lower.
Rain or shine. Never forget. Rain or shine. I don't know if you didn't score it lower, but
I gave that one a 3.5. I gave it more than this. So.
That's right. That's right.
This is my lowest one so far, I think.
Wow.
But
Okay.
we'll see later on. But anyway, yeah, that's my number 5.
Okay. Well, we're not far off because that's actually my number 4.
Okay, there you go.
Yes. And our scores are not that far off either. I'll just lead with it. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So we're close. I agree with a lot of what you said when you were talking about it. I think, I actually like the setup. I like the premise. I don't love the execution. This has the setup for a really great comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, I mean, it is kind of like there's comedic part or supposedly comedic parts. I guess 30s comedy is kind of lost on me a little bit, but it has a setup for a comedy, but then there's like a lot of dramatic parts, especially towards the end. I did like the scene where like the mayor came and all these people like I thought the actress
at the very end of it.
Yeah, and her face, like I was like, oh, she really is like happy that all these people came. I don't love the resolution though. Like she still didn't tell her daughter she's Apple salesman.
Right.
So like, she's probably not going to go to that wedding. They're going to get married in Spain. She ain't going to be able to get there because she doesn't really have any money. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of left up in the air. For the happy ending. But is it? Because I think there's still some stuff that's going to come out at some point. Other than that, I do like the guy. I do like that guy was called Dave the Dude. That's a great name. And they constantly just call him Dude. So Big Lebowski can suck it because this was the original Dude.
This is the Dude.
The Dude. This Dave the Dude. And they call him Dude the whole movie. It was great. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't. It felt long. I feel like they focused on a lot of side plots that weren't that interesting to me. Like there's like missing reporters and there's like criminal because Dave the Dude he's like a gangster. So there's like these missing reporters and then the cops are getting involved. And then like I kind of just liked, hey, we're really dirty and poor. We need to pretend we're rich. So my daughter, that is a premise for a great. If they remade this now, they could do it. They could do it easily.
It's been done several times, honestly.
Yeah, he remade this movie. I read afterward. He remade it later, and this was nominated for Best Picture, and he was nominated for Best Director. And I have no idea how or why. Maybe it was a weird year. I don't know. He did not win. It won neither. But yeah, it was okay. Like there's parts I liked. At least I could say that there's parts. But overall, 2.5 for me. I could leave this one. I don't think I'd ever want to watch it again. But I feel like the premise is solid. It just I wish it focused on the comedy more than the drama parts, honestly.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I'll talk about my number 4.
Ooh.
And that is American Madness.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'll start off with saying I really like Walter Houston. He plays the main guy in this movie. I think he's a great actor. I like him in movies like Dodsworth and whatnot. And he's fine in this. And I do think it's kind of a good insight into the Great Depression and what it was like when the banks closed and you couldn't get your money back and all that. I thought that was fine. I was just really bored with it. I'm not going to lie. I didn't connect with any of the characters. I didn't really feel for them or anything like that. And I think a much better version of this is his later film, It's a Wonderful Life, where it does show more of that. And we feel more of the tension and connection with the characters. It's not just, oh yeah, all these bankers, they lost their money. No, like the people in Bedford Falls. We love the people in Bedford Falls. It's a Wonderful Life. And then George having to make that sacrifice of going on his, honeymoon, giving all his money out, right? This movie, I don't know, I didn't really connect with. I thought it was good for historical purposes because this was only, 1932? That's only 3 years after the Depression started.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close to when it happened, and I imagine it was very similar. But I think it was missing the character connection that I always associate with Frank Capra. Mm-hmm. This felt a little too dry for me. And I gave it a 3.2. So not horrible, but I think better character study would have been more interesting.
All right. That's fair. Okay, what are we? Number 3. Let me just. Okay. All right. So my number 3 is going to be the other Barbara Stanwyck movie, Forbidden.
Yes.
Forbidden. And I'll tell you why. I actually think this movie's good. I do think it's good. Her performance is way better than the stupid General Yen movie. I thought her performance was, I think it was one of the best ones as far as just her acting goes. I enjoyed this. I have a major, okay, I'll save the major problem for the end. I think the performances are good. I think the story that they're telling is very well told. This, like you just mentioned, as far as characters go, like this is very heavy on characters more so than plot per se. Mm-hmm. Like the plot matters, but it's really focusing in on her character for the most part, right. And how a lot of these situations affect her throughout the years. Now, my problem with the movie and what kept it from being great, two things. Number one, this movie is a bummer. It is an absolute
it's a sad ending. Yeah.
Yeah. It's there's no real, I never got a moment, not even one moment of joy. And I feel like in every other movie, you get at least one with Capra. Mm-hmm. I never was happy for her. I always felt like, man, she gets the short end of the stick in every single aspect. My second problem, and this was the kind of the backbreaker for me, is that it's her own doing every single time.
Right, it's her fault.
Yes, and so it makes it hard for me to root for her because at least if she did one thing right or, that I liked, it would be different. Literally none. From the only time she's innocent at the beginning when she doesn't know he's married. That's okay. I was cool with that. From the baby on, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice. It's like, okay, you made 15 wrong choices. Even though it's a sad ending, I don't feel as bad because this could have never, none of it would have happened if she made a couple of different choices. And so I just had a hard time connecting with her because of that, which sucks because I really liked a lot of this. I did. And that kept me from like fully investing with her. I gave it a 3 out of a 5. I think it's good. And I could see people thinking it's great, honestly. I could, but I just can't. I was just like, damn. Even at the end, like she had an opportunity after all that, doesn't get to raise her own daughter. Love the guy who's married who wouldn't. She could have had half his fortune and she throws it in the garbage.
Yeah, she tears it up.
What is going on? Like, at least that, dude, you're old now. Just, you know what? Take it and go. Nope. I knew she was going to do that. As soon as he died, I'm like, she can throw it away. And sure enough,
Yep.
that's when I wrote down 3 right then. I was like, never mind. You know what? The final straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So I liked it, and I could have loved it, but I had a hard time with that. So I gave it a 3. But it is, other people may like this better than me. I thought it was very good, except the characters. I just couldn't relate. I'm like, I would have said something so many times. It would have never got to that point. He wouldn't have seen his daughter, if I'm being honest with you. I'm like, you don't even know you have one, dude. You're cheating on me and stuff like that. You won't leave your wife for me. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll let him see the daughter, but the whole like, oh, I'll just pretend it's yours. You adopted it. Right. I'm a nanny. And then she abandons her. Honestly, she's a bad mother. She's like, she's drunk. I want to hire someone. She just leaves and never comes back. I kind of hated all that stuff. So it made me not like her character, but I love the performance. So I was like, this was a hard one for me to score, but that's where I ended up.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I struggled with this number 3 as well. It's pretty much a tie between 2 films here, but I decided to go with Platinum Blonde, Jean Harlow. And it just barely by like 1 point, it won over, or I guess lost over. Real quick, though, there is an interesting fact. So the actor who played Stu Smith, I guess he died a few days after this movie premiered.
Oh.
So like this is his last movie.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
Yeah. So there's that little tidbit for you.
Yeah. Jeez. He was good in this movie, that guy.
I really liked him. He was probably my favorite part of the film. I didn't really like Jean Harlow that much. I thought she was kind of bland and boring acting-wise. She's definitely just there to be easy on the eyes, you know.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why she's there. I actually liked, is it Loretta Young, I think is her name? As what was her character's name? It was like
Gallagher.
Gallagher, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I actually like her more as a character. And spoiler alert, they end up together. I like that more character resolution wise. I don't know. I was a little bit lost with the plot. And I mean, I thought it was interesting how Robert Williams went from like they call him the Cinderella guy, right? You know, rags to riches in a way. It could have been a lot better. And I think if it was someone more interesting acting wise than Jean Harlow. This is a huge hot take because this is like one of her most popular films. Some people are going to be eviscerating me, but you know I'm right. Anyway, yeah. Overall, though, I gave it a 3.4. 3.4. Honestly, kind of like the last set, this was tougher to rate because they're close-ish to me. All of them are, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that leads me to my number 2, which is Platinum Blonde, and our scores are close again. So our scores are close. Our rankings are one off, but I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to agree with you on a lot of what you said. I will say I'll stick up for Jean Harlow a little bit. Now I've not seen her in other stuff, so this is my introductory to her as an actress. I found her, yes, not exciting. Didn't really like. Gallagher was cooler. I liked her better, but I also liked the character better. So I think that helped.
Yeah.
You know, she was likable. She was the. You know, I knew this is one of those movies where, and they do this in modern movies too, especially teen movies, where there's like the reliable friend who's just there, and you just know at the end they're gonna end up with the reliable. They're gonna realize they've been there all along, but I'm cool with it. It's fine. Clearly, this trope has been going on for almost 100 years. So, but I could see why he liked her. Other than her looks, she was kind of cute. Like, I liked her kind of playfulness with him when they were first, starting off. When they're having lunch and when they're sitting on the couch, and I could see it. I could see it why he would be like that. I loved him. He was great, and I liked his character a lot. He was a little bit of a wimp. Which that was a little annoying, but he's also living in a mansion with his gorgeous woman who is going to be a little bit more, he sticks up for himself here and there, but he lets it get a little farther than I would have. But then again, I've never been married to a beautiful rich woman, so what do I know? Maybe I would do this. I wear them little what is it, garters as well. They go hold up my socks and everything.
Right. Were they like platinum or something?
Yeah, they were like super expensive. I love how mad he is about it. Like, I haven't worn garters since I was 7 years old or whatever you say. I'm like, just put them on. Who cares? Like, they look expensive. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I would put this in like the tier with like the other, like, let's see, Ladies of Leisure, The Way of the Strong, where I liked them. I didn't love them, but I liked the characters. I liked the romance element because I did like Gallagher. I liked them two together. I like when he punches that guy. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I like when he punches the dad too. That was funny. He's like, that's the 20th one. And then he tells him the whole thing. And then he's like, I'm going to punch you. But first he tells him and then he punches him. And I was like, okay, respect. Yeah, I liked it. 3.5. I thought it was good. Rev, what's up? Rev is in the chat and he said, nobody said hi to me. Hello.
It's Craig and nobody said hi. Well, we're talking, Rev. But hello. Thanks for coming by. Okay. So we're on our number 2 already. Oh, man. Well, my number 2.
It's like the Rain or Shine episode all over again. When are you going to say it?
Well, see, now when I tell you my number 2, you're going to know what my number 1 is.
No, I already know what it is.
My number 2 is Forbidden.
Oh, my God. I knew this was going to happen when you said, fair enough. It's his number 1. I know it.
It's a dead giveaway. I also really liked this movie. Like I said, it was a toss-up between this and Platinum Blonde. What gave this one the edge to me, though, although I agree when you say that, Barbara Stanwyck made all the wrong choices and whatnot, to me, I kind of liked that because it kind of was showing, what not to do and how all the, starting off with one bad choice could lead to, and domino to even more bad choices down the road. So I guess it's more of a cautionary tale. And it was quite the roller coaster, though. I'm not going to lie.
It was.
Like when she decides to pull the gun out on, was it Holland or whatever his name is?
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that coming. I
was like, whoa, what?
She was going to come out with a gun.
I was like, oh, okay. And then she shoots him.
But she murdered him. That's also crazy. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it just kept escalating. I was like, I did not see that coming at all. And then by the end, I was like, boy, all this started out, and if he had just said, you know what, I'm married, sorry. If he just broke it off then and there 20 some odd years before, they wouldn't be in this boat.
That's true. That's true. And you know what else? Like the other thing I forgot to mention, I kind of don't like that they didn't show more stuff with the daughter.
Yeah, I could have used more of the daughter. I agree.
Yeah, like as soon as she gives her up, you know that she grows up and is like a debutante but you don't really get anything else with her. And she also never finds out who her real mom is.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I wish there was a little more with the daughter as well.
No, I agree. And that could have been even more tension. Like that could have been a very interesting plot device, but they didn't utilize that too much. And we also didn't really see his real wife either, because that could have also added more attention to it.
Yeah, as soon as he gets old, they only show her when he's going to become governor. That's it. Yeah. They never show her again. And also, I think it's kind of crazy that guy held a grudge on him for like 25 years. So I'm going to bury him eventually. It's like, dude, if you didn't do it for the first 4 years, give it up. What are you still like? What are you all because the guy didn't want to do him any favors? When like 20 years ago, like, come on. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, we got Rev here saying Harrison and Nate are number 1.
Hey, Rev. Rev's number 1 as well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What's interesting too, so the main actor, Adolf Menjo, I think is his name. I butcher it so much, but I've only really seen him play older characters. I've never really seen him play like a romantic lead. So I thought that was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Because like I want to say 2 or 3 years after this, he's in what's that newspaper movie? Front Page. And he's like, he seems a lot older.
Yeah.
So it was interesting seeing him play a younger, or I guess he was younger too, but like, it was weird seeing him being a leading man. I've always seen him as more of like the supportive leader, or the mentor to like the main character. I don't know if he was miscast or not, but it was just weird seeing him in that kind of a role.
And I kind of liked him before I found out he was married. I kind of liked him. You know, he's fun. He was drunk. He was a little drunk that one time. And then they get together. I like the scene in the apartment, honestly, like when she's going to tell him she's pregnant and then doesn't with the masks. I thought it was very cute. Like there's a lot in this that I liked. It's just, she pissed me off so much, like left and right. I'm just like, oh my God. I do also like, I thought it was funny when they're getting older and you could tell they just put like some white stuff in their hair and like extra white makeup, you know, like that's the thing with these new 4K TVs and, it is a Blu-ray, but still you could really see.
You could see it.
Like some chalk in his hair and he's old. That's it. So I thought that was
exactly.
Funny. Yeah.
That was funny too. And they didn't really do anything with their faces either.
No, barely anything. They just put like caked on some extra makeup and now they're older.
Exactly. Got all but the popcorn saying, hey,
Stephanie.
What's up, Stephanie?
How's it going?
All right. Did I already say my score on it?
No.
I think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. I gave it a 3.6. So
close.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what's crazy? My number 5 was your number 1, and your number 4 is my number 1. Because my number 1, we're totally opposite here. American Madness. Listen, everything that didn't work for you worked for me. I loved this movie. First of all, I thought the characters they focused on were good enough for me. I didn't want too much. I like that I don't care about the people that are going to the bank. Like, also like this way it's shot where they just showing like this mob of people, like just move. It was stressing me out, first of all, which I think was the desired intent there. I was like, man, this is stressing me out. All these people there, like someone's getting trampled and run over or something. I tried to, so sometimes after I watch these, I'll like try to explain it and be like, what's it about? Oh, well, this has so much going on that I tried to explain it and I left out everything. It's impossible. And I like that about it. This is a heist movie. This is a murder, not a mystery because you know who did it, but there's like a murder going on. Then you have the banker and you have an affair that's like going on the side. You also got the chairman of the board people who are trying to like kick him out. And all of this happens in 2 days, in a 2-day span.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, oh my God, the pacing on this movie, I was never bored. The pacing on this thing is great. It's not that long, and yet it moves like fast, in my opinion. I thought it was just like boom, 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 boom. I loved all the characters. I liked Dixon, the one you had mentioned, the lead. I also liked the other guy. I think in the movie's named Matt. I think it was the guy who's like the teller.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Now, I almost gave this a 5, and there's one thing that kept me, and it was my boy Matt. Similar to Forbidden, he makes some choices that just annoy me, and I'm like, dude, if the cops are like, you're gonna go to jail for murder if you don't give us an alibi, and you're more worried about like protecting your friend from knowing that his wife was at, not me, like, bro, your wife was at that guy's house, and I know because I was there. I'm not going to jail for no murder. I'm snitching because first of all, he doesn't even like the other guy, right? That's number one. And number two, you gotta. It's one thing if this is like a gangster movie and you have he's not a criminal. If you have a criminal who doesn't want to snitch on other criminals and things, I get that from a storytelling. I didn't get it here. I was just like, why would you not? I know it's going to hurt the guy, but he finds out anyway. And then he gets mad at him. You know what I mean?
Right.
even to the end when he goes in the office and he's like, "Was my wife there?" And he's like, "Don't worry about that. There's a ton of people out here." And he's like, "Tell me, was she there?" And he's
picks him up. Was she there?
Yeah, and he's like, "I don't know, man. We got to help all these people." And then he leaves. And it's like, just tell him, please. He knows already. So that was the one thing. Because other than that, dude, I love this movie. I hated that. The bad guy, hated him with his stupid pencil eyebrows that were drawn in. I'm like, what the heck is going on? She's not a horrible person, but the wife was she was like,
yeah, she was sleazy.
She was sleazy, right? And she didn't do anything, but
it was just a drink.
Yeah, she fed into it more than she should have. She's like, flirt with me. Let me see what you got. Oh, take me out. Go to a play. Like, okay, you did too much. Once you went to the theater with him and stuff like that. Loved it. 4.5 out of 5. Wow. I thought this movie was so good. And I love the heist element of it, the bank robbery. You know, he's changing the timer. And I don't know. This one worked for me. I thought it was great.
Okay, fair enough.
I want to hear what you're going to say about this. Your number one. I'm excited to hear it.
Well, before we do that, here's Rev mad at us again. Stephanie got a response 20 seconds. Took 4 minutes for me. Well, tell you what, it took us 4 minutes for that one too.
Yeah. Well, you said we were number one, so don't go back now.
And then she says they like me better.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
I feel like I've known her longer. So, also, I think she said hi at a time when we were in between movies. So you were able to bring it up. He said hi when we were like right in the thick. So, Rev, don't be mad. Remember, we're number one. You said it just a moment ago.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Oh, my God. Okay. I want to hear about this. Tell me what I missed.
Okay. Maybe it's for the meme factor, but I absolutely love the bitter tea of General Yen. I had such a blast watching this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe it's the shock value of just how crazy racist it is. Like normally it doesn't, like I think doesn't bother me, but I gotta tell you, my favorite scene in the whole movie, she's having a nightmare, right?
Dracula thing or whatever that was.
And he comes up to her about to pounce on her. I was like, oh my gosh. And then a masked hero comes in, punches him in the face, and it's him.
Yeah, again. It was both of them, I think.
Yes. And to me, I was like, so this is him beating the racism out of her.
I almost recorded that clip and put it in the group chat because when he goes flying and then just disappears into the wall, like I laughed so hard. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh, that was my favorite. I almost rewound it, and I want to make a meme out of it, man. It was so great.
It was.
I had so much fun with it, and I also like the kind of enemies to lovers type storyline that this was doing, kind of like, you know, Pride and Prejudice, Beauty and the Beast, that kind of thing. I actually thought that was really good too. I love Barbara Stanwyck in this movie too. Overall, I had a great time with it. It just, the meme factor alone just sent me over the edge. I was like, this is a great movie. 4 out of 5.
So she calls him like a yellow something at some point. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yes. I was like, oh my gosh.
I agree with you. And like it doesn't bother me because you got to watch these movies through the lens of the time they were made.
Yeah.
You know, I refuse to be, use current times to watch these movies through that lens. It doesn't make sense for me to do so. So okay, fine. I've seen all these westerns where there's white guys playing Mexicans and Native Americans, and it is what it is. But this one was like really, like, it was weird. It was weird. He didn't look Asian. I mean, they tried, but he had blue eyes because there's one shot where you could tell his eyes are kind of light, and I'm like, this guy got blue eyes. Yeah, and then he has a European accent. And I think the other lady was really Asian. Well, maybe she wasn't Asian either. The his like assistant.
Oh, yeah. I think she was.
She seemed Asian.
A lot of the supporting cast was, funny enough.
They got enough Asians to play the other roles.
Just pick one of them. Why do they have to pick this European?
Why was he that good that they're like, no, we got to get this guy to play the Chinese.
I had so much fun with it though. I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again.
I wish I felt like you. I was so bored out of my mind. I was like, I could not wait for this to end. I was like, mm-mm. And yeah. But hey, that's why we do it, because what speaks to you might speak to someone else, and someone might agree with me, or maybe Evan would have had it right in the middle. Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know. But that one I hated. I did not hate it as much as Rain or Shine.
Yeah.
But because that was like aggressively annoying. This one wasn't annoying. It was just boring to me. So it was a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got Rev saying, I don't think I've ever seen a Frank Capra film. Really?
The only one I could think he might have seen was It's a Wonderful Life, but I don't think he watches. Rev, I don't know if you've ever seen It's a Wonderful Life, but I don't think he would watch that one either.
Probably not.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of if there's any he would like. I don't know.
Does he like? Would he like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
No, I don't think he would like that. He likes swords. None of these movies have swords in them. Some of them got some action though. Maybe like one of the action ones, like not dirigible.
No. No, what was that gangster one? With like the ugly guy. I think that's it. Yeah.
The Way of the Strong. I would never watch that based on the name alone. Okay, so he's not.
Fair enough.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. He's like, I don't care. You know what, Rev? You might like American Madness. I mean, I know Harrison didn't like it as much, but like I said, it's got like a murder in it. It's got a bank robbery. It's got people yelling, and I mean, this is the 30s we're talking about. So you got to take what you can get when it comes to certain things. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, The Way of the Strong, he might like that one. That was pretty good. It's got gangsters in it, and it's got action at the end.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
I like that one.
Yep. Okay.
Wow. So the bitter, I did not think you were going to have it 1 until I put it at 5. And then I had a sneaky feeling. Your reaction made me think, I think he liked this one a lot.
I really liked it.
and I should have known too, because like I think Dirigible was the same. Like I didn't like it, and you had it like pretty high in that group.
I think it was my favorite one of the last.
Yeah, I think you put it number 1. And
I did.
I had it number 4. So it's about par for the course. It's like we do the same rankings, but we go like this. Like we go the opposite.
Yeah,
we meet in the middle.
Change.
Yeah, we meet kind of in the middle. But our tops and bottoms are always like opposite. What's Frank Capra's worst film? So I know which one is Tony's favorite. Oh, probably Rain or Shine. He might like Rain or Shine. Yeah, I think it's the worst. I know Harrison didn't hate it as much. Harrison, what was your you said it was just today. Was your lowest score yet?
Yeah, Lady for a Day, just barely, because Flight was the last one.
Yeah. I think Bitter Tea of General Yen and Rain or Shine are two of the worst I've seen so far. They're the only ones I outright hated. I'll say that. But we still got 5 more. Who knows? I know these are popular, but that don't mean I'm gonna like them.
I mean, look at my score here. Rain or Shine, I only liked 1 point more than Ladies of Leisure, which was my number 4. So it's not like I adored it.
Sure. But I found it insufferable. That guy was so annoying. That lead character. Joe
Cook?
Yes. And the last 15 minutes, just him doing circus tricks. I'm like, oh my God. I don't care anymore.
It was great. What are you talking about?
Sure. Sure. I can't imagine going to a theater and sitting there watching someone walk a tightrope for 5 minutes. I'd be like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to get up and leave if someone doesn't talk or something doesn't happen here. I'm a story guy. I don't know.
Sure. Now, something I did notice, I don't know if this happened to you, but in some of the movies, because I know sound was relatively new, I noticed when there were quiet moments, there wasn't like ambient sound. It was just dead quiet. Like in
I don't know. I that's true. And there wasn't like a lot of these movies don't have like scores.
Right. Yeah.
They just kind of they talk and then it's just quiet, and you can hear like kind of the scratchy, sound, and it goes to the next scene.
Right.
But yeah, that is true. I don't know. I mean, I've seen Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I don't remember it that much. But I'm hoping with some of these there's some scores on them, because I love a good score, but none of these really have one. They have some music, but
yeah.
nothing continuous or constant.
Well, I definitely think we're in the period right before those started to really become a thing. Because I want to say when King Kong came out in 33, that's when every movie had to have a score in it. Good old
Okay.
Max Steiner. So
Well, that's promising.
I think this next group will have more scores.
Yeah, because they're all after I think 37 or 38. Like they're all towards the end of the 30s.
Yes. Just It Happened One Night's 34, Mr. Deeds 36, Lost Horizon 37. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to these. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of excited. Knowing that they're so, knowing that they're so prestigious as far as, awards. And I've heard Lost Horizon is the only one I've never heard of before. I've seen Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler, but I knew it was a remake.
Mhm.
I've heard of It Happened One Night. I've never heard of You Can't Take It With You actually either. And I've seen Mr. Smith, the only one in this box set that I've seen. So I'm looking forward to actually watching all of them. And they're all in 4K, which is going to be great.
I'm excited for that. Yeah. For me, of these, I've only seen It Happen One Night and Mr. Smith. So.
Oh, okay. So they're still mostly new watches for you.
Yeah. Now that pretty much this whole set has been first time watch for me, other than this last group here. So
now, question:
very excited.
In the last group, did you want to include that documentary that's in the box?
I was thinking about it. I didn't want to rate it with the films. I think it'd be great just discussion point wise, though.
Okay. Yeah,
just because he didn't make it. It's just talking about his career. I think it'd be great supplementary wise.
Okay, I'll watch it. I just want to know if I should watch it. I'll watch it so we could talk about it. But yeah, I will not include it in my rankings.
I'll watch it too.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the features on any of these discs?
Because I cram in so much, I haven't had time to. I've wanted to though.
The same. When I was watching one of them, I saw Martin Scorsese on it, and I was like, I want to watch that, but I don't have time. I got to get through. Yeah. I got to get through these other ones still. I think it was the bitter tea one. I think Martin Scorsese was in one of the special features.
I think he is. Yeah.
So I have to put that back in to go back and watch that. But I did watch some of the Miracle Woman one because Ron Howard was on it.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
I watched some of that and it was interesting. So I would like to hear modern directors talk about some of these. But I also don't want it to influence anything I say. So
right.
I'll go back and watch them later.
Yeah, no, same. I've been wanting to watch those, but no, I've been cramming it in like you the day of or day before.
Yeah, that's how it goes. These movies are some of them are hard to remember. I watched them all today, and even still, there's probably parts in that T movie that I couldn't tell you exactly what happened. Like when you said about that, I remembered it, but but I still think it's the best way for me to do it, especially because they're not that long.
Yeah.
I think some of these ones might be longer. Let's see, 105, 116, 133, 126, and 100. They're all 2 hours. So these I will be watching spread out.
I think I will too.
Yeah, I'm not doing the binge thing here, but I watch them during that week leading up to it. Jeez, 2 hours.
I'm actually really excited. This will basically be like the best for last, triumphant, because after this, he went off World War II, made movies for the U.S. government and all that. And when he came back, did It's a Wonderful Life and just never really had the same career. Kind of just fell apart.
Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, he was Columbia's, not their cash cow. I don't know if these were all successful, but I mean, he did 20 movies with one studio in like a 8-year period.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. Yeah. They're like, give us another, Frank, give us another. It just kept making movies. I feel like they all came out in 1932. How'd you make 17 movies in 1 year? I don't know.
I know. And you think, like today we have people like Quentin Tarantino, who's only ever made what? 9 movies? Yeah.
And they're all spread out over 30 years, 9 movies, where this guy made 9 movies in 2 years or something like that. It's the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So back then they were able to turn around a lot quicker.
Yeah. It's been interesting though to watch from where it started to now. And you can see a lot of themes in his movie. Again, I not watched anything, but a lot of stuff about class in his movies. Definitely. Upper class, lower class, middle class, all that kind of stuff. You get a lot of that. And especially in the early ones, you get a lot of like, there's always like, not always, but there's a lot of them have war in them. The dirigible, the submarine flight, and and a lot of romance, not rom-coms, but they almost always have like a romance in them.
Yeah.
And they're just, but the class stuff, like there's a lot of that. There's a lot of I'm poor, you're rich, and how they interact with each other. It's got to be half of the ones we've watched have that as like a main thing.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and especially when you learn, he started out dirt poor, Italian, first generation in U.S., right? Literally rags to riches. Like a lot of these are his story.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And I think that's why a lot of people really like Capra, because he was able to touch on something that a lot of people can connect with. And I'm very, very excited for this next group, especially with Mr. Smith. I think that's a great one to end on. It's going to be a great send-off.
Yeah, I've never seen Lost Horizon, but it got mountains and an airplane. I'm hoping for an adventure here, like an actual adventure film, though, not like some of the other ones,
What, not like Dirigible?
Not like Dirigible. No, not like that, where they're in the cold, they're in the snow. Okay.
Antarctica.
It's a remake of Submarine, but on the snow instead of underwater. So for that one, I'm hoping for some adventure. I know It Happens One Night is a rom-com. Like, I know it. And it was like one Best Picture and all this crap. Mr. Deeds, a comedy, I'm thinking.
I think so. And supposedly, so that has Gary Cooper in it. Supposedly, his original idea was to make Mr. Smith a sequel and call it Mr. Deed Goes to Washington.
Oh.
But Gary Cooper was not available, and they went with Jimmy Stewart instead. And that's what catapulted Jimmy Stewart's career. So it ended up being a good thing for him.
I like that. Okay, so and in these last few, we got James Stewart and Jean Arthur. We got Jean Arthur again, and James Stewart again. We got, who's in this one? It says a notable cast. Ronald Coleman, Jane Wyatt. I don't know some of these people, but they're notable. Gary Cooper, Jean Arthur. She's in all these things. And then Clark Gable. I can't wait I've only ever seen him in Gone with the Wind.
Oh, you're going to be in for a real treat then.
Ooh, I loved him in that movie. So I'm very excited to see that one.
Yeah. I might watch it tonight. I love that film.
Watch it now. Write your note. Make sure they're really good. That way,
right.
In a month, you'll remember.
Right, exactly. Yep. Okay. Well, I think that's it for tonight's show, guys.
Yes.
And
it was great. I love it. This has been a lot of fun. We got to find some kind of set that we could go through and do of some old movies, because this has been a blast. The shows have been fun. Watching them has been fun. Having the opposite opinions on all of them has been a lot of fun. I've loved it. I thought it was. I think it's been really great.
Yeah. Well, I have another set in mind. We could talk about it off the air, though.
Okay. I'm all ears. Ears.
All right. Well, before we go, why don't you tell people again where they can find you?
Yes, anyone who joined us, thanks for joining us. Stephanie, Rev, Alex, Scott, everyone who popped in. You can find me over on here on YouTube at Geeks and Flix. And again, we're going to be going live every week moving forward. That's going to be kind of our main thing. We'll be live streams, interactive with you guys. We have the best chat on YouTube. I don't care. It's always a lot of fun in there.
I agree.
And then, it's great. And then you can also find me at Action Movie Guys Podcast on all the Spotify, Apple, Google, everywhere. And then on Instagram, Nate Flix Reviews, if you don't follow me already.
Again, he'll post food reviews too if you're a foodie.
Dude, I feel like I review everything. I'd be reviewing theme park rides, food, wherever I am. Like, I put up scores of every time I go to Disney. I'd be like, this ride is a 2 out of 10. Just ride. And that's why it's Netflix. That's why it's Netflix Reviews, because I will review anything. I don't care. This grass is a 4 out of 10. It's terrible grass.
It's Kentucky bluegrass, awful. We got to have some of that Crabtree.
Yeah, not a fan. AstroTurf, 9 out of 10. Looks nice.
Awesome. And like I said, the links are down below, guys. Make sure to follow them there. They got some great stuff. And you can find me here on YouTube as well. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, pretty much everywhere at Really Old Movies. I have new podcast episodes that drop Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and they're film reviews about movie of the week. And I also do 2 live streams a month. This one here, and then the other is silent commentaries, where I watch a silent film and talk about it as it's going on. That's been a really, really fun thing. We just recently did Battleship Potemkin, great film. And the next one for that is Safety Last with Harold Lloyd, great comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And anyway, so make sure to hit the notification so you know when that happens. And with that, this has been Really Old Movies. I'm your host, Harrison Scullin. It's my co-host, Nate. Take care, everyone.